No. How do you presume that I will not allow you? There are reviews on preconceived notions.
Most respected sir.
Yeah, please.
Most respected sir.
Yeah.
First, let me thank the chair and respected vice chairman for giving me this opportunity of my right to reply. First, let me thank my party and its president, Srimati Sonia Gandhi, former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh, whose assurances on the same floor on 20th February 2014 are the very basis of my bill. Let me also thank my Vice President Sri Rahul Gandhi, my parliamentary party members and its leader Sri Ghulam Nabi Azad. More importantly, let me thank all the 11 parties, everybody by name, for their party leaders and to all their members for their wholehearted support for the just cause of 5 crore people who are under great distress due to no fault of theirs in the formation of new state. This they have done wholeheartedly, keeping in view of the misery of the new state in spite of sufferings of their own areas and their own states, without any reservations. Me and my party, heartful thanks goes to them. Andhra Pradesh people will be ever grateful to them. Sir, AP Reorganization Act Amendment Bill 2015, private member bill is the right of the member.
196.
I introduce only in Rajya Sabha, as I cannot go and introduce in Lok Sabha. Where is the bar in introducing money bills as private members' bills? Sir, special category status does not require any legislation. It can be done with the executive order as was done earlier. Since the present government is dilly-dallying from the last 2 years, I have proposed amendments to AP Reorganization Act 2014. Sir, no legislation is required for granting special category status. If the government agrees to grant special category status, then the question of amendment to AP Reorganization Act does not arise. The BJP-led NDA government unnecessarily complicating the issue of special category status. Sir, as per Rajya Sabha composition, business and procedure, sir, this is according to one of 21 private members' bill, sir. A private member may also move a legislative proposal or bill which he thinks fit to be there in the statute book. He may give notice of his bill along with the text of the bill to be drafted by him, as the Secretariat may render only technical advice if so desired. In drafting a bill by a private member, there are certain procedural requirements of all legislative proposals, whether government or private. Since in respect of private members' bills, members may not have access to expert advice, and there are certain procedures regulating consideration of private members' bill. Sir, for the bills, for the private member bills, the main requirements listed are: 1. Contents of the bill. A. The foremost requirement in case of a bill is that it should be within the legislative competence of Parliament. In other words, the subject of the bill should relate to the subjects included the union or concurrent list contained in the 7th schedule to the Constitution of India. B. Notices of bills are required to be accompanied by copies of the text of the bill together with a statement of objects and reasons duly signed by member giving notice. Sir, most important is C, sir. In addition to the statement of objects and reasons, a bill involving expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India must also be accompanied by a financial memorandum inviting particular attention to the clauses involving expenditure and also giving an estimate of recurring and non-recurring expenditure likely to be involved in case the bill is passed into law. D. A bill involving proposals for the delegation of legislative power to any executive authority should be accompanied by a memorandum explaining such proposals and drawing attention to their scope and stating also whether they are of a normal or exceptional character. E. A bill seeking to amend original sections of a principal act should be accompanied in the form of an annexure by an extract of all those sections of the principal act of which the amendment is sought. F. If the bill is one which under the Constitution cannot be introduced, that means Articles 3 and 274 of the Constitution, without the previous sanction or recommendation of the President, the member in charge of the bill should annex to the notice a copy of such sanction or recommendations as the notice is not valid until this requirement is complied with. Sir, G is most important, sir. A bill which, if enacted, would involve expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India cannot be taken into consideration or referred to a select or joint committee unless the member in charge obtains the requisite recommendation of the President for consideration of the bill under Article 117(3) of the Constitution. In case of such bills, members in charge should obtain the recommendation of the President before in order to enable them to proceed further with the bill. For this purpose, a member sends his request to the Secretariat for obtaining recommendation of the President. The request of the member is forwarded to the ministry concerned. The ministry recommending or withholding consideration of bills then obtains the orders of the President and communicates the same to the Secretariat. On receiving intimation regarding President order through the ministry, it is communicated to the member and published in the bulletin by the Secretariat. Sir, a private member bill cannot become money bill until it is passed in Rajya Sabha and adopted by the government. Article 117 of the Constitution does not apply to a private member's bill. It is applicable only to official bills. The present amendment bill proposed by me has crossed all the preliminary requirements of the scrutiny by the Rajya Sabha Secretariat, got approval from the President, introduced in the House and discussed. Even the reply was given by the Honorable Minister, adjourned at the time of voting due to lack of quorum. Hence, the right to reply by the member and the voting of the bill is only pending in the House at this stage. Sir, denying the right of the member is the basic violation of the privilege of the member. Sir, two private member bills passed earlier by Rajya Sabha also have financial requirements such as 1. The ancient and historical monuments and archaeological sites and remains within brackets the Declaration of National Importance 1954 passed on 15th December 1956. 2. The orphanages and other charitable homes supervision and control bill passed in 1960. Bill 1960 passed on 9th April 1960 are also one way or other requires government financial assistance. Sir, in this regard, my bill was submitted for President's sanction with the required memorandums, statements of objects and reasons, and a financial memorandum. Sir, in the financial memorandum, sir, the clause 2 of the bill provides for the special status for the state of Andhra Pradesh. The bill, if enacted, will involve expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India. It is not possible to quantify the expenditure at this juncture. However, it is estimated that a sum of rupees 50,000 crores may involve as recurrent expenditure for annum. And also, sir, in this non-recurring expenditure to the tune of rupees 1 lakh crores may also involve for creating assets. Sir, there is no secret in this. This was sent to the Secretariat of Rajya Sabha more than a year back and got the President action more than a year back. And sir, it was repeatedly discussed in this House with your kind permission. The notice submitted for introduction was 31st July 2015. Sir, it was done in 236th session of 236th session with the serial number 20. And sir, again, it was discussed on 13th March 2016 in 238th session. And also, sir, in 239 session, it was discussed on 29th April 2016, and for lack of quorum, it was postponed.
Okay.
Sir,
Now conclude.
for closure of session, because of the foreclosure of session in May, it could not able to come for voting. Sir, here only one more submission, sir. Only one more submission. I am finishing, sir. Thank you very much for giving a patient hearing, sir. Just I am finishing. Sir, this is from Abhijit Sen, who is a member of Planning Commission and also a member of the former Planning Commission. The 14th Finance Commission, the 14th Finance Commission did not recommend abolition of special category status. It merely decided to discontinue the practice of distinguishing between SC and non-SC states for computation of finance committees, recommendations of devaluation and grants. The center was free to distinction for plan and non-statutory, non-planned grants. Sir, this was authenticated.
All right.
This was told before camera by Mr. Abhijit Sen, and it was given in writing, sir. Sir,
All right.
I
Now,
urge upon you, sir, to keep my right. It's not the question of my personal interest or my personal whims or fancies, sir. It is the right of the member, sir. You are the custodian of the house. It's the right of the member to ask for a private member's bill for voting, and you are gracious enough to give me all this time. I urge upon you to keep this bill for voting and take the House opinion on this. And I ask for the division, sir.